Some of you are exhausted, and not because you don't love people, but because you keep rescuing what isn't yours to carry. And you call it support. You call it loyalty. You call it compassion. You call it being the strong one. But rescue doesn't heal. Rescue often replaces responsibility. And the one it usually costs the most is you. Our official alignment anchor. Yellow light. Pause. Breathe. Right where I am, God is. So I ask, what's the most aligned next step? Not the most impressive one. And I move, one faithful step at a time. Here is today's consequence. When you confuse support with rescue, you accidentally train people to depend on your overfunctioning, and you call your burnout love. Rescue feels powerful in the moment. It feels like you're preventing pain, but the long-term consequence is brutal. They don't grow, you don't rest, and resentment starts dripping into places you swore were holy. Because help without boundaries isn't help, it is a slow leak. In this conversation, there are two familiar characters. Character A is the rescuer. The rescuer is good-hearted and deeply capable. They feel responsible for other people's comfort, stability, and outcomes. The rescuer looks something like fixing problems before anyone asks, carrying the emotional load for everyone, giving resources when accountability is needed, saying, "I'll handle it," because it feels safer than watching someone struggle, mistaking guilt for guidance. Character B is the supporter. The supporter still loves, still shows up, still cares, but they know that love without truth becomes enabling. The supporter looks something like offering help that empowers, not replaces, asking what's needed instead of assuming, holding boundaries without hardening, letting consequences teach what rescue would prevent, being available without being consumed. And listen, beloved, the rescuer isn't a villain. The rescuer is often a survivor who learned, if I don't hold this together, everything falls apart. But you are not called to hold everything together. You are called to be aligned. Here is how rescue hides in helpful behavior. It can look like doing for others what they are fully capable of doing themselves, repeatedly saving someone from consequences, giving advice that was never requested, paying the emotional bill for someone else's choices, over-explaining, over-reminding, over-managing, saying yes because you can't tolerate someone's discomfort, feeling resentful, and then doubling down instead of setting a boundary. And here is our yellow light check-in. Is this behavior support, or is this rescue? Here is the truth that steadies everything. Support strengthens, rescue weakens. Support says, "I am with you." Rescue says, "I'll do it for you." Support honors dignity. Rescue often steals it, even with the best of intentions. And if God is love, love does not control. Love empowers. Love tells the truth. Love allows growth. You see, the green light is not, "They are okay now." The green light is, "I am in integrity." The red light is not cruelty. Red light is a boundary. And yellow is our holy hinge, because yellow is where you pause long enough to stop over-functioning and start discerning what is yours. I know this pattern. I know it personally, the rescue pattern. I know the ache of watching someone struggle and wanting to remove the discomfort fast. I know the fear that if I don't step in, they will fall apart, and then it will be my fault. But here is what I've learned. When I rescued people repeatedly, I wasn't just helping them. I was training myself to ignore my own limits. And limits are not a lack of love. Limits are the shape of love. Rescue is like carrying someone up a mountain that their own legs were meant to climb. Yes, you can do it for a while. Yes, you can prove that you're strong, but you will collapse, and they will never learn their own strength. Support is walking beside them with water and encouragement, with truth, and letting their legs learn what they were meant for. Our yellow light is when you put together the weight and put it down and choose partnership over carrying. The pivot protocol: pause, assess, and decide. Here is how to practice this today in real life, in real relationships. Our first step is to pause. When you feel the urge to fix, to save, to overfunction, take one breath. Let that breath interrupt the reflex. Step 2 is to assess. Ask 3 questions. Did they ask for help, or did I assume responsibility? If I do this for them, what will it prevent them from learning? What is the most loving boundary that I can hold right now? And if you like the alignment chain, use this. Premise: what am I believing? Vision: what do I really want? Purpose: why does it matter? Strategy: what is the next faithful step? Because rescue often sits on a premise like, if they struggle, I am unsafe. And beloved, other people's discomfort is not your emergency. Our third step is to decide. Make one aligned decision, not 10, just one. Here are 3 options. Offer support without taking over. Something along the lines: I can help you think through options, but I can't do it for you. Maybe you ask before acting. Do you want support, or would you like space? Our third option is to hold a clean boundary. I am not available for that. Remember, this is not the most dramatic step, not the most impressive step. It's the next faithful step. So here is your charge for today. Stop confusing support with rescue. Rescue is fast, but it's expensive. Support is slower, but it builds strength, dignity, and trust. And as always, our yellow light, beloved, is to pause, assess, and decide. Today, practice this sentence: I can love you without carrying you. If you like to journal, use the following prompt: where am I rescuing in the name of love, and what boundary would support real growth? If something in today's conversation stirred you, don't rush past that. That stirring is often the soul's way of saying, pay attention. This is your yellow light. And you do not have to navigate this alone. If you are craving clarity, if you're ready to live with purpose and you want aligned action that holds up in real life, I would love to support you. You can reach out to learn more about Life Charter or what it looks like to work with me, Babs. Just send me a message with the word yellow and tell me where you feel stuck, numb, or unsure. I'll respond with the next best step and the simplest way that we can walk it together. Until tomorrow, yellow light, pause, breathe. Right where I am, God is. What's the most aligned next step? Not the most impressive one. And I move one faithful step at a time. Thank you for sharing this journey with me. I love you deeply, for in truth we are old friends because we are one.